Hey everybody! I think this is gonna be the last video I do for today. Me and my sweatsuit. So Grand Rising, peace and blessings to you guys and goddesses, kings and queens. This video is gonna be about the system of incarceration. So I really think that you should comment, like, and subscribe my video. I would really appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe to my video, and share this video if it resonates with you. So without further ado, so if you're black and brown, I mean any race really, but particularly black and brown, they have the highest incarceration rates in the U.S. And you already know somebody or is related to somebody who's been in jail at least once. Even I've been in jail twice. Not prison, but jail. Not my proudest moments, but you know, everybody gets touched with a handcuff sooner or later, or knows somebody who's been touched with a handcuff sooner or later, and taken away to a processing center. Processing, they gotta process you like you some fucking piece of meat or something, a cat or a stock or anyway, the fact of the matter is that incarceration systems is a system to control our men. Now, I already told you the hospitals is a system to control our women, and I told you that our school systems is a system to control our children, to control the mind, right? The men starts to get conditioned to go into prison from school. Our black boys, the school systems is not designed for our black boys, but our black boys start to be conditioned because they start to feel inadequate in school. They get ignored the most in school. Their dropout rates or non-completion rates is higher than that of females. And then from there, they'll go into the streets and they'll try to find a way to make money or to take care of themselves, and they get into trouble. They fall into gangs, or they go ahead and they start divvying into a life of crime, which then ultimately ends them up into a prison system or in the grave. So we all know that they stopped making they started making less seats available in schools. As the grades got higher, there's less seats in high schools, right? Because the plan was to not have them succeed that far, right? So it's less seats in high schools, and they made more room in the schools, in the prison systems. So the thing about prison, same thing about hospitals, and it can even trickle down into the schools, but they do not rehabilitate our damaged citizens. They don't rehabilitate them. They don't get them the proper care that they need. They try to conform them to just follow the rules, be a proper citizen, and then they release them. Do your time and then get out. This is the reason why we have so many repeat offenders, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. Now, if a penitentiary or a corrections facility, if you're put in, oh yeah, and then they got the little junior schools called juvenile detention centers. But if you're putting somebody into these systems, you're supposed to have a therapist there, some type of mental rehabilitation program, because people repeat the same mistakes because they don't see what it is that they did wrong. They was just told that they did wrong, and then the punishment is to make them think that they are bad individuals. They get mistreated in there. You know, they don't get the proper nutrition that they supposed to get. They get something called loaf. I don't know what the hell that is, but I heard it is disgusting looking. This is why they so hungry to have people from the outside send them care packages, because they be needing stuff that they not getting inside the prisons. Now, going back to the last video about the school systems and how the comparisons is so real, children all the time say the food is disgusting. So if the children is saying the food is disgusting in the schools, you know damn well they giving our peoples up in those prison systems some damn right no good shit. So that's something that and it's probably pumped with all types of hormones and leftover body parts from other animals and stuff. You never know what it is, but they not inclined to keep your person alive. They're not. I mean, maybe by the government, because like I said, we are property to them, so they may need us in the future, but they don't have to do certain things. This is why there's so much rape going on in the jail system and murders and stuff like that going on in the jail system. They don't take care of our people in there. They don't rehabilitate them. So when people come out institutionalized, meaning they so brainwashed on how to do things, they only know how to survive in a prison system if they've been there for more than 15 to 20 years. They come out institutionalized. So I know several people who were institutionalized, and it was very hard for them to readapt to life outside because the expectations that they had from when they went in there was not the same realities that they came home to. So it really helps to have like some type of integration system where when a person is about to make parole or about to just get out of jail altogether and it's been over a certain period of time, I think that they should have a system where they, take them out. This is how you, if you don't know how to food shop, this is how you food shop, this is how you fill out application, this is how you get assistance, these are the people here to help you. Now, I did hear that there are services to help reacclimate you to society, but sometimes people don't take advantage of that, and then they wind up in the streets on drugs or getting killed. So it's like, it's very important that they have social workers. Now, when you go into a hospital for mental health issues, it's not a social worker to you. They assign a social worker to you. So I gotta do another video. I thought this was my last one, but I might not do this one today because I'm tired of talking. But I'm gonna do another video about the systems in society, the court system, child support, visitation rules and laws, child services. I'm gonna get into that heavy. But going back to the institutionalized people, if they had proper health care, mental care, then it's less likely that they'll repeat the same situation. And I think that they don't, especially if you're a black man, they don't care how you end up. They want y'all to die. It's only a few of y'all compared to the women anyway. So it's like, the less of y'all, the less reproduction we can have anyway. Listen, I think that men in the institutions, scratch that. I think the people who's on the outside and have men in the institutions, even women, some women, they go through life in prison and stuff like that. Prison is no place for a woman. It really isn't. They actually need to be put inside of a program right away. Some women, they kill, like the killers, they need to have a separate program for killers, murderers, because that's psychological. When you can take the life of another person, that's something psychological. But people who steals and who still rob, fight, gangbang, or whatever, sell drugs, whatever, that should be a totally different system, because now you need to teach them right from wrong. How can you do something different in order to be better? But they're not going to do that. They get money off of having the prisons filled up with black people. They get money off of making arrests. They get money off of a lot of things. I don't know how, why, or what the hell is the purpose, but it's definitely an agenda. Now, men who have families, or rather the families who's watching, and y'all got people in prison, y'all need to make sure that there's a plan. Even if you're like, oh, I'm tired of Bobby. I know I use Bobby a lot. Bobby is like my go-to name. But I'm getting tired of Bobby. He always going to jail, and then he think everybody's supposed to be here to clean up his mess. That is not necessarily the case. What if families of these black men. What if Bobby was not taught how to do things properly? Like, it's one thing if y'all tell Bobby, don't do this, this is wrong. But what if that's the only thing Bobby knows how to do? So if you know how to do better, can't you teach him better? Can't you say, Bobby, if you need money, do it this way, I help you? Because if he feel like he got to do it on his own and he don't know how to do it, that can be very intimidating to Bobby. So Bobby may need somebody to hold his hand and walk him through certain things. Y'all have to make sure that they get proper food, because there's a lot of health issues arising while in prison. And I don't know all of them, but I know one of the things was like high blood pressure. Another thing was AIDS, like, because they allowing men to get raped up in there, and then also men who've been in there for a long period of time, whether it's gay or not, they're gonna participate in sexual urges. I think that they should have some type of spiritual healer up in these prisons so that the people in there can get out of their root chakra. That's me personally, but I think that they need help. And it's easy to point the finger when you see something wrong, but just ask what happened to you to get you to this place. How can I be of service to you to help you grow as a spiritual being? How can I help you get to a better place where you don't feel like you're worthless and you got to do certain things, stoop down to a certain level in order to survive? It's all about mindset, and it's all about actually having the resources available to do better. And people just don't know that they have these resources. They think that they out here all alone. They got to do it for themselves because ain't nobody else going to do it. I think that when we start to ignore the people in prison, their life stops right there. There's no more outside life. They are just in prison. And when people come out of jail and they have nothing to come to, it makes them depressed. Because if they don't have that willpower inside to want to climb up out of that and just, do something different, they may end up back in jail, or they may end up dead through suicide or whatever. So you want to take care of your fellow brother, man. I don't think that men have a fair chance. I don't think that anybody who actually been in jail has a fair chance, because that goes on the permanent record. Again, this correlates with being in school. In school, you have what? A permanent record. How you act in school determines what kind of job you can get in the future, because they going back and they looking at your freaking elementary school days. They looking at your credit report and everything. It's all part of a system, y'all. And like school, so like prison. As above, so below, right? So they already has a permanent record following them from elementary school. As soon as you put them in the system, they have a record. Anything that has a paper trail is your record. Your social security card, your birth certificate, your report cards, your transcript, your credit report. All of it is meant to track you and what you're doing, what kind of person you are. So anybody can judge you just based off of words written on a paper. They don't know who you are spiritually. So why give them the satisfaction of allowing them to judge you and grade you based off of some type of mirror system that you didn't even ask to be a part of? Shouldn't you have had a choice on whether or not you wanted to be a part of this so-called system of theirs? You was never given a choice, because your choice don't matter. You were not you didn't ask to be a part of. They made you be a part of, and then they made you feel like you're not a part of. So if you belong but don't belong, how you think that's going to make somebody feel? Confused as hell. That's how they're going to feel. They're going to feel confused as hell, and they're going to try to find a way in a system that's not designed for them. They're going to try and find a way to fit into something that they never going to fit into, and that's just that. They never going to fit into it. These, like in America especially, you can have a connection to the land, but then when you look around, you can say, this is not my home. It's just like if you grew up someplace, you moved away, and then you came back to that same place, a lot has changed. You could say, I'm connected here, but this is not my home. I don't belong here. We need to carve out a space for us that we can belong, because, as I mentioned before, we are positive people by nature. We just want to grow, and we want to grow, and we want to grow up and out. We do not wish to conquer. We do not wish to intimidate. We do not wish to harm. We just want to be in peace and live as we should. We have other stuff we were meant to do on this earth, and it's to learn our lessons so that when we do decide to leave this vessel and we can't transcend, there's nothing holding us back, because we chose to be here. Even though we have no recollection of it, we chose to be here. And when you don't complete what you're supposed to do, you're going to come back. That's what I believe. Is what I believe. There's levels to this, and we just need to level up. And it's hard to level up when you're always being oppressed. Like, it's always a foot on the back of your neck keeping you down, whether through what you see, what you experience, what you hear, or what you feel. Well, that's the experience. See, you feel, hear. So you have to try to do better. And understand, like, just because it's hard, it's just meant that it could be that was not meant for you, and you trying to insert yourself into some place that you don't need to be, or you just lack the knowledge, and therefore you need to become knowledgeable. But I feel this, and this is what I'm teaching my children. If you're trying to be a part of something and it's hard, maybe you're not supposed to be a part of it. Maybe it was meant for you to create your way. You don't have to walk a path that so many before you have walked. That you may be the exception, therefore making you exceptional. And therefore you need to create your own way, because you're capable of doing so. And I don't care. There's no such thing as failure. When you have will, you have spirit, you have a way of making things work for you. Stop trying to conform all the time to somebody else's system. I'm not saying go out there and do the wrong thing, but you create your own way. And yes, it's going to be met with some adversities, because when you decide to be innovative, or if you decide to just carve out something for your own, people will not like that. Oh, you can't be on that status. You don't deserve that. Who are you? You belong under me. You can't surpass me. It's going to be a lot of stuff, even from your own people. It's just the way life is. But if you can show people that harmony is better than being negative, you know, people would want to be on your ship more than trying to bring you down. Okay. I thought this video was going to be a little bit longer. I guess I ran out of words. I did. I think I ran out of words. My throat is dry. I ran out of juice. I don't have nothing to drink. And I'm tired. I done talked myself to wanting to take a nap. But I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Please comment below. I may come back and do another video continuing this when I regain my thoughts, because right now my thoughts is out. When I regain my thoughts. But I do not like the prison system. I don't like the school system. I don't like the hospital system. I think we could teach ourselves. I think we can heal ourselves. I think that we can correct ourselves by holding ourselves accountable to doing the right thing, becoming knowledgeable, doing our research, because the information is there for the taking. It doesn't have to just be what somebody else says, and they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They go to school and they learn protocol. They learn protocol. They don't know how to mix stuff together. That's what you have. What those people is called? They're not doctors. They're I guess chemists. They create or lab somebody. I don't know. I put the word up there. Like I said, I'm losing my words, but the people who create the medicines is not necessarily the doctors. The doctors are the people who go do what they told. They practice protocol on how to perform procedures. Don't mean that they are healers. They're not healers. Unless they really study the science behind it. But if they just know how to do the procedures and the proper protocol, the verbiage and terminology of different things to make them sound proper, you know, then it's easy to become a doctor. But the true healers is the ones who know and understand the science and how to use natural herbs in order to heal. It doesn't have to be concocted in a laboratory. It really doesn't. The stuff that comes from the laboratories, that's the stuff you need to be careful about, because they kill people. And they don't just kill them like, I said poison. I said no, they kill you slowly. That's what these medications are designed for. Oh, the medication is helping me a lot. Your first stop to healing is up here. It's not even what you put in your body, but it's up here. When you have a mindset that says that I am not sick, I'm healthy, and you know how to focus your energy on the parts of you that is ailing, then you can start to regenerate that with new cells and things like that can therefore get rid of the ailment. And then you can also help yourself by what you eat and what you put in your body, like certain herbs, topical or internal stuff that you need to ingest. So once you figure all of that out, then you can actually help yourself. You do not need these hospitals. You do not need these doctors. You need healers. You need knowledgeable herbologists who know what they're doing, and you need the right mindset, period. So we can teach ourselves, we can heal ourselves, and we can correct ourselves. Correcting ourselves require our village or community to hold each other accountable, and teach each other the right way on doing things. We don't cast out our members because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So we allow our weakest links to remain weak. They're going to start faltering or making the other parts of our chain weak too, because the community starts to fall down when we don't help each other. So we have to help each other. Stop letting every man be for themselves. No, you are not my sister keeper, you are my sister. You are not my brother's keeper, you are my brother. So you have to hold yourself accountable. You take care of your elderly, you take care of your children as a community. You don't just leave them out there just to die. You don't walk past a man who's laying out in the street and be like, that's every day. No, you at least should wonder if that person's okay. You stop and make sure the person is breathing. If you can't help that person, or if you're scared, be honest with yourself. I can't help this person and I'm scared or whatever, I don't want to touch them, then that's fine. You keep walking, but at least your energy and your intent was to make sure the person was still breathing. You don't know if they're okay or not, but you can at least send positive vibes their way so that some good fortune can come into their life. Is the least you can do. If somebody is like asking for a handout, you use your better intuition, because some people is asking for a handout for drugs and you don't want to help feed their drug habit, but some people genuinely need food because they're homeless. Some people be doing the most too. I be on these highways, and one man I seen one day, he had a shirt on but no shoes. Then he chose the coldest day to not wear a dang on shirt. He's out there, no shoes and no coat, and it was raining. I was like, why is you doing all of that just to get $1? Like, I know there's shelters and things like that. People choose not to go to these shelters. That's another thing we should look into. Why do people choose to live on the street instead of going to the shelters? I hear it's really horrible, probably horrible than certain prisons out there. America is not it. I don't know about the rest of the world because I never lived in other places, but America is not it. It's not. They are ass backwards. But I'm going to get off of this because now my throat is hurting. But I do thank you for tuning in with me. Please drop a comment about institutions such as the prison systems or school systems or hospital systems, and let me know what you thought about what you experienced or what you think about what you read. I would like to continue this dialogue. It's just right now my brain is kind of in warp mode because I just been talking for so much. I don't know how teachers do it. They just be talking, and especially when kids don't pay attention. I already be losing my mind when my kids don't pay attention to me, and I just be talking for no reason. I be like, can't do it. But I love you guys, and I do hope that you have a beautiful and blessed day. Keep your vibrations up and your positivity strong. Keep your lower vibrations away from anything that is supposed to prosper, like your plants, your children, or whatever. If you feel low vibrational, that's the time that you're supposed to take to yourself and meditate and get your life right and back on track so that you can vibrate at a higher frequency, because you don't want that. It's contagious and you don't want to infect anybody. So you want to go ahead and get yourself right. Also, you want to practice your meditation. There's different ways to meditate, but practice your meditation. Reflection is always good. I mentioned this in like 2-3 videos ago with my children. Reflection is great. You need to reflect often. I like to reflect before I go to bed, only because it helps me to get rid of any negative energy that I was holding on to during the day. You know, if I could change it, I'll implement change next time. If I can't change it, I'll learn to accept it and I'll move on. I don't want to wake up the next day feeling bad, or 2-3 days from, you know, the time that I was feeling bad and I'm still feeling bad about it. I want to be able to accept what I can't change and change what I can. So I hope this video helps certain people. Certain people need to hear it. Certain people just needed a different point of view of how to look at things, especially if the way they was looking at it is questionable and then, like, you know, it don't make any sense or whatever. When you hear other people talking, you're willing to listen and take in other people's words. It kind of jumpstarts your own brain to think for itself, because you're like, I resonate with what that person is saying, maybe not 100%, but I resonate with what that person is saying, therefore this is how I feel about it. And now you're starting to think and talk about stuff. Closed mouth don't a closed mouth means that your brain is not working properly. It also means that you lack willpower. It also means that you don't have what it takes to get out of the current situation that you're in. You got to learn to speak. Your throat chakra is powerful, and if that's always blocked, you're gonna and just deal with whatever. Learn to voice your opinion. Learn to get into that. Your heart chakra is very important as well. Chakra, first and foremost, the root chakra. Yeah, I need to get out of that root chakra. What helped me was and this was before I even really learned about chakras. I decided to go on my celibacy run, and I was like, I need to get back to me. And what made me do that was I kept dropping stuff on the floor. I kept forgetting things. I had a lot of brain fog. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I was like, I need to do something. And I was like, first and foremost, the thought of my hormones and stuff like that. Whenever I got stressed, it was like, you know, go get one off or whatever. But I was like, that's not how I'm supposed to deal with my issues. It's not how I'm supposed to deal with my feelings or anything like that. So I said, let me practice celibacy, let me practice self-control, let me practice getting back in tune with myself. And it helped a lot. I stopped dropping stuff. I stopped forgetting things for the most part. I started to regain a sense of self. That led me towards doing shadow work. I didn't even know it was called shadow work until a client turned friend of mine told me that it was shadow work. And I was like, what is that? I never heard about it before. So I then started doing research on it. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Some people call it dark night of the soul or something like that. It's the same thing. But when you start to look inward, and then you can clear out all of the stuff for you start to clear out all of the stuff from your past that's negative and had an impact on how you conduct life in your now. You know you're on the right track, because those are the things that's dictating your behavior. So and that's the type of work that needs to be done in these type of institutions, is to clear out all the debris from their shadows from their past. They need to clear out all the debris so that they are a properly functioning individual. The mind is clear, the spirit is clear, the heart is clear. So that way you can move forward and be the best versions of you. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. But I do hope that you enjoy it. Like, subscribe, share. You can even hit the notification button if you enjoy my content that way when I drop a new video, you can be notified. You won't miss not a damn thing. So peace and blessings to all my kings and my queens, my goddesses and goddesses, my gods and goddesses, and I will see you soon.